Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. This is a kind of a more serious episode that I didn't really plan on filming, but I kind of feel the need to say something about it just because it goes against some of my core beliefs as a human being. So, as you've seen the video, my wife and I, Dana, we have two children, Henry and Charlie. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
And I'm very lucky in as much as I've kind of always known who I am, both personality-wise and just who I am on the inside. And I'm lucky enough to found the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, and we got to have a family, build our lives together. And I really didn't have to worry about anyone belittling that or coming after me just because I am who I am. I have been raised around people of all different types of lifestyles. And I always hesitate to use that word because it's not really a lifestyle. We act like it's a choice. It's people who are who they are. And I've been surrounded by them my whole life, and people are just people to me. Don't get me wrong, like most people, I judge people based on their personality and how they treat others. And I hesitate again to use the word judge. It's just, hey, if you're not a nice person, I really don't want you in my life, per se. Well, the Supreme Court just made a ruling that really bothered me to my bones, like to my basic morals. They pass a ruling that people are allowed to discriminate in their place of business based on their quote-unquote personal moral beliefs. That's, I don't know, my kids have always had their eyes open to the world around them, and I plan on them continuing to do that. There's a whole great big world outside the four walls that we call home. And heck, Henry, say hi again.
Hi.
The first wedding Henry ever attended was a good friend of my wife and I's, who is a gay man. He got married to another man who's also a friend, and we couldn't be happy for them. They're still together, still happy, and last I talked, they're looking at building their family. And that was Henry's first wedding he ever attended. And it was just another wedding. It was two people in love getting married, celebrating their love and hope for their future and everything together with their friends and family. What I'm trying to say is everyone is different, and that's what makes us humans. And the fact that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of this decision based off of no real evidence. In fact, it's come to light that the foundation of the claim it's in and of itself be completely false, is really bothersome, because we've made so much progress in the last 40 years as a country and as a people, just to have it set back by this decision. The reason I decided to record this video now, as I record this, it's actually July 2nd, but last month was, as many of you know, Pride Month. And to me, Pride Month goes beyond, I mean, it has its foundation and its root focus, which is what it is, but it's also just taking pride in love and equality and acceptance and, you know, just everyone loving everyone and getting along. Is everybody always gonna get along? Absolutely not. I mean, I've already made the statement, sometimes people and their personalities really get under my skin. And just to hate someone based on who they are, or to discriminate against someone because of who they are, is just deplorable. And I hope we as a people can do better. And last month during Pride Month, I made a point, we did a Pride walk with my work, and I'll insert that video here in a second. Just a little introduction of what we were doing and why we were doing it. We were going to actually do a video based off of that for Pride Month, but then I was like, you know what? I just want to actually spend this time with the family and make sure my kids understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and why it's important. I wish I would have recorded more after this hearing came out, basically ending the month of Pride by discriminating against the people that month is supposed to celebrate. It threw my hair back a little bit. So I'll insert that video now, but I just want to get that part out of the way. We're actually going to go, well, not out of the way. I didn't want to let this video go without talking about it, because it's something that really bothered me. I try to stay away from politics on this show, even though those who know me in my personal life know I'm very political, I guess. And as much as we all need to come together, figure out a common solution without letting the importance of personal belief structures influence the betterment of our country and our species. That being said, we're doing some work. We're still trying to sell our houses. So we're out to get some stuff to do some repairs today, and my mom's fridge went out again. So I got to figure out how to get that fixed for her. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Let's continue the video. But first, our little talk from the Pride Walk.
Hi.
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 Hi. Forget the low quality. Weren't sure we were going to make a video or not, so I'm just doing it on my phone. But we're actually here to participate in a Pride Walk. Something I feel very passionate about is celebrating diversity. It's actually one of the main reasons we love Disney, is Disney is all-inclusive, it's diverse, it's just about celebrating each other, and that's what we're doing today. We're going to go walk with some of our friends to celebrate who they are and where they come from and how far we've come as a people. Because I just don't understand hate. I really don't. In as much as I may dislike someone for their actions, but I love everybody for being people. And I mean, think about it. We're just a group of people. Main thing we have in common is we share a rock floating through space. We create all the other controversy ourselves for absolutely no reason. So we think it's important to make sure our kids know that there is one world, one people, and we need to be inclusive. So let's go celebrate each other, our friends, and let's go celebrate Pride, guys. Let's close out June right. Like I said, we got some work to do around the house today. A little few things, just minor really. Changing air filters. I got a new screen replacement because one of our screens got torn by some weather and some tree branches. And I'm also going to change a light inside one of the closets. So, shall we get started? I decided to take you along on this journey because this is something that I've never had to do before. And as a homeowner, I think you should have all the little... If you have to do some work yourself, you should be able to do the work yourself. That's what it comes down to. So let's see how hard I can make this look. So here's the screening question. As you can see, the branch really got a hold of it. And it was just a longer branch that had some overgrowth on a tree we had near the house. And after we had a landscaper come out and take care of everything for us, we realized this was heavily damaged. Instead of going out and buying a new one, I just wanted to replace the screen. So I picked up a kit from Home Depot. And here's that kit right here. It's a brand new screen. It actually comes with the tools we need, which is right there. That's to place the spine where it's supposed to go. And a new spine. All in all, it's pretty straightforward for the most part. The reality is I just have to remove this and size it and cut it down. Only other tools we'll need is this to get the spine out and a utility knife. And I think I'm going to use some masking tape as long as I can find it. I'm pretty sure I have some around here just to hold this down in place. Success. I knew I had the other stuff. So we're going to get the stuff removed and then we're going to get it started. Guys' world, but that took a little bit with mine. That did not want to come out easy, and well, it's 104 degrees here in Tucson right now. I'm doing this in the garage so it doesn't make a mess everywhere in the house. I'm sweaty. Ugh. I'm sweaty. And don't forget to hydrate. It is summertime and we're hitting highs of 110 out here, so if you're hot wherever you're at, make sure you're hydrating. Okay, and the reason I said we're gonna have masking tape is when we go to install this stuff, we're using what's called a mouse roller. So it goes alongside to push in the new spine. However, we don't want it moving around, because you saw how difficult that was to take out. So what I'm gonna do is use masking tape to hold it in place. All right, the next step is to take our new screen and we're gonna measure it out and cut it to size. Another reason I wanted to hold it down, so that way it's not moving around, it's not bouncing, and we are gonna overcut it a little bit, and we'll trim it down once we have our stuff in place. We just gotta be very careful not to actually cut. I know what you're thinking right now. Bob Vila, eat your heart out. For those of you who don't know who Bob Vila is, wow, I'm surprised you're actually watching this channel. Let's go ahead and measure it out. I'm actually gonna go like the full length on the outsides here. Just like that. And what I'm gonna do, so there we go. Now, we're gonna take our spine, and the best way from everything I've looked up how to do this and even the directions that came with this kit, we're just gonna start in a corner, but give it a little bit of room. Okay? And that's where this tool comes in. Is you're gonna run it along, making sure we're giving some even pressure without putting too much pressure on it, but to make sure it goes in evenly. Then we get to a corner here. That's actually why I brought this tool. Push that down.
Here's where some of the tricky part comes in. Now we gotta make sure we're pulling this nice and taut, okay? Okay. So I'm pulling it taut as I'm pulling this down. All right, well, I'm not gonna lie, it could be tauter, but for our present purposes, this is good. All right, removing the masking tape now because it served its purpose. And you're probably being like, hey man, Tommy, you're so handy. You just have masking tape lying around for just such an occasion. No, this goes back to our comic book stuff. If you collect comics, don't ever use Scotch tape. Use masking tape to close your bags and boards. You run less of a risk of actually damaging your books. The more you know. We are gonna cut it now. I'm trying to be as careful as I can without hurting myself or cutting anything I don't mean to. There. If you look closely, there's a side here that kind of has like an indentation, a valley. That's actually the part you roll it down with. This part does not. That's the part you secure it down with once you have everything in place that you need in place. So basically we're doing one last rollover. Like this corner didn't go down all the way, so I'm glad we caught that now. Bang. So that is done. Now we cut off the excess. Now I'm doing is scoring just the inside here. Which leaves more than enough for the net to grip on, to not lose its tension. So truth be told, the part that I'm scared most about here is actually putting this back in place. Because when I was taking it out, it was not cooperating at first. All right, here's the window and tree in question. The branches from this oleander bush just grew and kind of just started messing with it. So now we got switched out. Let's see if we can get it back in. Like I said, it's the part I'm nervous about. But as you see, there's little metal parts right here. This actually gives it the tension to stay in place. And these little pieces go on the inside. So what that does, it just goes right inside the actual window jamb here. Let's see. And don't be afraid to manhandle it. That's one thing I already read and was told. All right, popped in place, success, we've done it. And forgive the little bit of time delay we had there. The camera actually overheated because we've reached 110 degrees outside and my camera was not feeling it. Well, one thing down today, just like new. It is hot outside. That's actually one of the reasons we hired a landscaper to come and do our backyard for us. Is it had a lot of overgrowth. I've been so busy with work lately, same thing with my wife. Haven't been coming home until basically the sun was already down. And I came back here and we had like 6 foot tall weeds. I don't know where they came from. It seemed like overnight. So we had a guy come in and clean them up, but it's also a good thing to have professionals do it because he actually came across a rattlesnake. Because yeah, we are in the desert, we are in Tucson, even though we're in a really populated area inside of a community in the suburbs, we still had a rattlesnake. Luckily, he knew what to do and took care of it. But whew, it was a scary moment. We got 2 kids and a dog and they were back here a bit. It's hot though. I'm going inside now. Air conditioning. The other thing I was gonna do today is these light fixtures. I put up 2 of them and we actually have another one that needs to be replaced and I have it. But that outside really just took it out of me. That 110 is no joke. And seriously, that heat was no joke. In fact, it was so hot, we kind of forewent a lot of the other stuff we were planning to do in the outside world today and just focused on working stuff here at the house. Because we are looking at selling the house, because as I said in a previous video, we're looking to have my aunt and my mother to come live with us. So we're trying to get both houses ready for sale on the market. And quite frankly, you don't realize all these little things that need to be redone or fixed or just, you know, I don't know, touched up. It's been wearing on me between work, that, and the stress of moving, and I'm ready for a break. Hopefully pretty soon we'll have a little bit of a break. But guys, thanks for tuning in and watching another video with us today. I know it was just kind of a shorter home vlog,
But hey, there's worse things to watch on TV. Hey, like that Supreme Court decision, that was way worse to have watched or heard. So remember guys, be nice to everybody, love everybody, let people's actions speak louder than who they are. Because it's just ridiculous that people are now allowed to discriminate against someone just because they are who they are. Way to go, Supreme Court. Thanks for taking another ride with us. Let's talk again soon.